So we'll start. मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करन को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. So, welcome to the fifth sem. We are almost halfway through, and I hope all of you must have given paper one objective. And today we are going to begin the fifth sem with Moksh Marg Prakashak, sixth chapter. So far we have done first, second, then third, fourth, and this time we are doing sixth and eighth. Very important chapter, eighth one and sixth one also. So we begin with sixth one and then we move on to the eighth one. That is our paper one. I have shared the syllabus few days ago. You must have checked it. It's the same syllabus. And all the other assignments, apart from objective, all the other assignments, I hope everyone has completed. If anyone is still pending, you can just message me personally and we can sort it out. Okay, so we begin with Mokshmar Prakashak. Who is this screen share?
Jai Jinendra, Rajesh Bhai, it's my screen, my second screen, if you wanted me to share the book.
Okay, fine.
So I've got a small question, sir.
Yeah.
They have written that it's going to be a quiz paper. That is going to be like Karotpati. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति के quiz के जैसे? I don't know.
Which one?
The second paper. They said it's a quiz paper.
No,
what we are going to write?
Quiz paper means this one only. MCQ
question
and all.
Answers.
There is no change
question
in pattern.
Answers.
Yeah, no change
question
in.
answers only. Okay.
No change in pattern. 24 marks for MCQ, then 6 marks for match the column, 10 marks for fill in the blanks, and 10 marks for true and false. Same pattern, no change. Okay, I made you a co-host. You can start sharing the screen. And the chapter number 6, refutation of false deity perception, false deity perceptor religion. False means Kudev, false deity is Kudev, Kuguru, and Kusastra. कुदेव कुगुरु कुधर्म का प्रतिषेध निषेध refutation. Okay, this is the name of the chapter, and in the beginning itself there is a doha mangla as a manglacharan, mithya devadik bhaje. So far we have adored false god, false perceptor, and false religion. Okay, and because of that we manifested false belief, mithya bhav. So when we say mithya bhav, it is not only the false belief, but along with the false belief, there is a false knowledge and false conduct also. Okay, so we should include all the three attributes: false belief, false knowledge, and false conduct. Taj tinko sache bhajo. Okay, so taj means to renounce, to leave it. Okay, so we should leave false god, false monk, and false religion. And what we should do? Sache bhajo, true god, true monk, and a true religion. That's what we should adopt. Yah hit upav. So this is the cause of our benefit. Okay. Heat is benefit and hate is cause. Okay. So these are the only solution. So what we have to do? We have to leave. We have to renounce false god, false preceptor, and false religion. And we have to adapt true God. So it is very difficult to identify who is a true God, because each and every religion regards their God as the true one, right? Everyone is like that only, right? Even in our Jainism also, there are many different sects like Sthanakwasi, Deravasi, Svetambar, Digambar, Terapanthi, Totapanthi, and whatnot. So there are different in between divisions in among Jainism, and each one of them believes that there is the truth one. So this is something, this is an endless argument. There is no conclusion. Only thing is that if you keep an open mind and examine, then you would be able to realize which is the true God. Okay. So it's everything depending on the individual. We had some students in 2016 batch and also in 2019 batch who were not Digambar, they were Svetambar only, and they studied for 5 years and still they follow Svetambar tradition only. So there are people like that. So the best part would be whatever we study for some reason, and that reason is that we have to arrive at a right decision. So if we are not able to arrive at the right decision, if we are not able to comprehend it perfectly, then there is no use of reading scriptures. So after reading the scriptures, the next step would be to adopt the uh, truth one and to discard the false one. That should be the action that we need to take once we understand the true facts, right? Uh, you can check it out, you can examine, there is no problem in that. But once you have decided, then there is no looking back. You should be confident about what you believe and what you study. So we are seeing, we will first see the meaning of this Mangalacharan. मिथ्या देवादिक भजे हो है मिथ्या भाव, तज तिनको साचे भजो, यह हित हेत उपाव. Okay. So why this false god and false preceptor and false religion is always discarded? Why? So Todarmalji gave a very good logic in this chapter, and if you understand it properly, you will realize that it is so important to identify true God. At the same time, it is also important to take the next step of discarding the false God. If we are not discarding, that means that our belief is not strong. Okay. And Todarmalji was asked a question. He himself raised this question. What is wrong in believing and worshipping those who possess so much power? Like all other gods, like Durga, they have weapons with them. Then we have Kali. Each and every god who are not the truth God, they all have some weapons with them. They have some followers with them. So here the question is on page number 242. You can see on page number 242. Yeah. Second paragraph. Yes, this one. What is wrong in believing and worshipping those who possess so much power? Okay. And before that, there were discussions that these false gods are also have some power, like Ravan also had some power. So why then not, oh, what is wrong in believing them and worshipping them? So the answer is very interesting. When one is having the rise of pap karma, 1 minute, huh? I'll just check the Hindi edition also so that so not this is not the question. One more question I'll just. Yes, it is on 246. I'm sorry. This is the answer that I was looking at. So it is on 246. Yeah. Bus. Yeah. So here someone may say from there, okay, let it not be useful, but by believing and adoring them, no harm is caused. Okay. So this is the question that I was looking at, that let it not be useful, but what is the harm in adoring them? Okay. Answer: if there is no harm, why would we forbid? Okay, why would we tell you to leave it? Why? But firstly, due to fostering of false belief, the right path of liberation becomes remote and inaccessible. This is the first and important reason, that if we believe in false god and false preceptor and false religion, then this fostering of false belief, the right path of liberation becomes remote. सम्यक दर्शन से दूर हो जाते हैं. Okay. And inaccessible. We are not able to manifest right belief. Thus, this is a big harm. And secondly, owing to the bondage of inauspicious karma, miseries are caused in future. Okay. This is another harm. So when we worship false god, false preceptor and false religion, then we bind inauspicious karma. And when those karmas will come into fruition, miseries will be experienced. Okay. So there are two harm. First is we go far away from right belief, and the other is that we bind inauspicious karma. Okay. So it is better not to indulge in false god, false preceptor and false religion. And at the same time, it is more important to identify the true God, true preceptor, and true religion. Okay. So it is our own responsibility. Todramalji has given us two reasons that why you should not believe in it. Okay. So we have many people like that those who believe in our Tirthankars also, at the same time while crossing the road, or if they come across another temple of say Ganpati or Durga Mata or Ambaji, they will also bow there. People are like that. They said we believe both. We don't want to show disregard to any other god also. So that is not right. Okay. Although you may argue that what is the harm? They are also human being. You can give many logics. But the thing is that when you believe in the right thing, then at the same time you should leave the wrong one. And that's why the struggle of Kanji Swami, Pujya Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami, has become so important for all of us to understand that he did not have any support from Digambar people. And Svetambar were threatening him that if you leave our sect, then we will not give you food. Now just imagine, he was not supposed to earn because he already had become a sadhu quite long ago. And after staying that in sect for say maybe around 30, he initiated into that monkhood at the age of 22. And for 23 years, he remained in that sect, Stanakwasi. And then he made a transformation. Okay. So, so the Svetambars, the Sthanakvasi people said that we will not serve you food if you leave our sect. So then Swamiji said that I have not taken Diksha for food. Okay. If I had to live in this universe, I will definitely get food. And on that basis, he left the Sthanakvasi Sampradaya. And nobody came to support him here. And for 3 years, he struggled a lot, but he never went back to the Sthanakvasi Sampradaya. That is the struggle Swamiji has undertaken, and we should always realize the value of this. If Swamiji would not have converted and he would have remained in Sthanakvasi, then what Todarmalji has said, the two reasons, and Swamiji read this Moksha Marg Prakasak very minutely, and he realized that these are the two losses that we are going to incur. Our objective is to manifest right belief. So we will get far away from that right belief. And the second loss is that we will bind inauspicious karma. And both are not good for anybody, right? So it is better that we should leave false deities, false uh, preceptor and false religion at the earliest. Okay. This is only we are talking from the belief point of view. Okay. So once your belief turns correct, then the first step would be to leave this false deity, false preceptor and false religion. The second step would be to have a correct understanding of the 7 fundamental elements. Okay. These two are two kinds of delusion. One is inborn delusion, the wrong belief regarding 7 fundamentals, and other is the acquired delusion by getting into false God, false preceptor and false religion. Okay. So these are the two reasons. Now we will come back to this chapter and page number 237. Okay. So the idea, the main theme of this whole 6th chapter is if we indulge in false by any means, by fear, by with the purpose of gaining something fast, we all bind inauspicious karma and we go far from right belief. So both are detrimental to our spiritual progress, and wise people should understand it properly and renounce false god, false preceptor and false religion. Okay. So that is the whole theme of this chapter. Why we are reading this 6th chapter? Because it deals with those people who are Jains, but still they believe in all these kinds of, as I said, कि गणपति को भी मानते हैं, अम्बा जी को भी मानते हैं, इसको भी मानेंगे, उसको भी मानेंगे, like that. So there are many people like that. Those people have very weak decision making power. And that's why they are not able to take the decision that what is right and what is wrong. So very few people in this universe have the guts and ability to realize, to examine and realize the true God, true preceptor and true religion. Okay. Very important. Meaning, instinct like false belief. One paragraph above. No, below, go below. Page 237, yeah. Slightly, 3-4 lines only. Yes. Instincts like false belief, etc. are found in mundane being. Okay. From beginningless time. And the cause of their reinforcement is the adoration of false deity, false preceptor, and false religion. Okay. What is the cause? These three are the cause. And because of that, false belief prevails. Okay. And this has been with mundane being from beginningless time. There is no beginning. Stepping in the path of liberation is possible only on their abdication. Therefore, the same are being discussed here under. Okay. So stepping in the path of liberation is possible only on their abdication, on their renouncement. Okay. So we should not feel fearful or something like that for avoiding this false god, false preceptor, and false religion. Okay. Now, what are the characteristics? How do we identify? So by knowing the characteristics, we can take a decision that what is truth and what is false. So whatever is false, that we should avoid, discard, and what is truth, that we should adopt and take shelter in. Okay. Now we will see the characteristics. So this is again a very important chapter, because as I said, even if they are Jains, if they believe in Jainism, still they also adore these false deities and false preceptor and false religion. Okay. So there are many people who fall under this category, and it is very difficult to leave the false god and all, because people are so fearful. They feel that if we annoy these false gods and everything, they will harm us. But we know the principle that one substance cannot do anything of the other substance, right? If you have bound or inauspicious karma previously, then even if you pray to true gods also, you will have to suffer from the fruition of those karmas. Okay. So by praying somebody, you cannot avoid some inauspicious rise of karmas. You cannot avoid. Whatever has to come, it will come. So the best is, don't indulge in false god, false preceptor, and false religion. Okay. Now we'll read the explanation about the characteristics of false deities and denial of faith in them. Okay. So from there, Darshiji, you read.
Vijayendra.
Yeah.
Adoration of those who are not benefactors of the self, but are fallaciously treated as benefactors, are false deities. The adoration of false deities is done with three types of purposes. Some adore them with the purpose of attaining moksha, liberation, some for gaining benefit in the next birth, and some others for temporal gains in this birth. But no purpose is served. Rather, some specific harm is caused. That is why their adoration is a fallacy. The same is being explained here. Many people adore these deities for the purpose of attaining liberation, whose adoration is advocated in other, non-Jaina sects as instrumental for liberation. But liberation is not achieved. The description has already been done in the previous chapter about different non-Jaina faiths. And many people adore the deities described in other sects, non-Jaina religions, with the purpose of gaining happiness and avoiding miseries in the next birth. But fulfillment of this purpose is possible only by engaging in virtuous deeds and avoiding vicious deeds. But they indulge in vicious deeds and say that the Almighty will do good to us. But this is an injustice, because it has not been possible that the Almighty would punish someone and would not punish some others for their vicious deeds. One would obtain the fruits according to his inner instincts. God is not the doer of anybody's good or bad. In the process of adoring such devas, deities, they kill other jivas and foster their sensual pleasures by eating, dancing, etc. in the name of devas. But one cannot escape from suffering the consequences of vicious instincts. Everybody regards hinsa, injury, and passional acts as sin, and the consequence of sinful acts, pap, is believed by all to be harmful, and in the adoration of false deities, there lies the involvement in injury and passional acts only. Therefore, by adoration of false deities, no benefit is obtainable in the next birth.
So you see how it is important to first identify it and then leave it. Okay. So adoration of those who are not benefactors, main reason. Okay. They are not benefactors of the self, but are fallaciously treated as benefactors are false deities. They are not benefactor, that you should understand. Okay. The adoration of false deity is done with three types of purpose. Okay. Some adore them with the purpose of attaining moksha, liberation. Okay. Some for gaining benefit in the next birth, and some others for temporal gains. Temporal gains means gains in this birth only. Okay. So some are adoring because they want benefit in the next birth. Some are adoring because they want benefit in this particular birth, and some are adoring for the purpose of attaining moksha, liberation. Okay. But when you are taking shelter of false deities, there is no way that you can manifest right belief. And without right belief, right knowledge and right conduct will not follow, and you will not attain liberation. This is the fact. But still, people from time immemorial have this habit of taking shelter in false gods, false preceptor, and false religion. So it is very difficult, very rare to have access to this kind of scriptures where the depiction of true God and true scriptures and true preceptor is very vividly given. Okay. And above that, generally speaking, people are not interested to go deep into the religion. Okay. Everybody prays to God or whatever belief they have. They just pray for this only purpose that all the objects of sensual pleasures remains intact with them. And that's why they adore all kinds of gods. Because they feel that if we don't adore these gods, then they will do something, they will harm me. But in reality, nobody can harm nobody. Okay. It is all our past karmas that come into fruition, and because of that, certain situation in our life happens. Okay. But nobody can harm us. That is the best what we can understand from this. But no purpose is served, rather some specific harm is caused, and that is why their adoration is a fallacy. The same is being explained here. Many people adore those deities for the purpose of attaining liberation. One minute. Whose adoration is advocated in non-Jain sects as instrumental for liberation. Okay. But liberation is not achieved. Okay. They believe that by following them, they will get liberation, but liberation is not achieved. Their description has already been done in the previous chapter, that is the 5th chapter. That is not part of our syllabus because it deals with all those people who are non-Jain sects. Okay. So that has been dealt with in the 5th chapter. Now see, in the 6th chapter, we are only going to discuss those who are Jains only, and in spite of being Jain, their belief is not correct. Okay. And because of that, their delusion persists and they are not able to manifest right belief. Okay. So their description has been done in the previous chapter, and many people adore the deities described in other sects with the purpose of gaining happiness and avoiding miseries in the next birth. But fulfillment of this purpose is possible only by engaging in virtuous deeds and avoiding vicious deeds. Okay. So fulfillment of this purpose, okay, So they want to gain happiness and avoid miseries in the next birth, but that fulfillment of this purpose is possible only by engaging in virtuous deeds and avoiding vicious deeds. Okay, so virtuous deed is auspicious karma, punya, and vicious deed is path. Okay, but they indulge in vicious deeds, sinful activity, and say that the Almighty will do good to us. But this is injustice, because it is not been possible that the Almighty would punish someone and would not punish some other for their vicious deeds. One would obtain the fruits according to his inner instinct. Okay, God is not the doer of anybody's good or bad. In the process of adoring such devas, deities, they kill other jivas. They create violence. Okay, there are certain Hindu religions where they sacrifice goat, they sacrifice some other animals for the purpose of manifesting religion. So those who are doing violence, how can that be a cause of religion? Okay, so they don't understand, and because of tradition they keep on following what their forefathers were doing, and they are happy with that. They don't have the curiosity to understand what is the true religion, who are true gods, nothing. They just simply are enjoying what kind of associations they have got, and they don't want to change it for the better. Okay. So they kill other jivas and foster their sensual pleasures by eating, dancing, etc. in the name of devas. So nowadays, the Ganpati and all, the Navratri, on one side they said they are paying to the god, and on the other side they are continuing with all kinds of sensual pleasures. The objective is not the correct one. And if you are understanding it properly, then why you will indulge in such activity in the name of religion? Again, in the name of religion. Okay. So, but one cannot escape from suffering the consequences of vicious instincts. Okay. So one cannot escape. If you are doing some bad deeds, definitely you are going to get the results for it. Okay, good or bad, definitely you are going to get. Everybody regards hinsa, injury, and passional acts as sin, and the consequence of sinful acts is believed by all to be harmful. And in the adoration of false deities, there lies the involvement in injury and passional act only. Therefore, by adoration of false deities, no benefit is obtainable in the next birth. So we have seen that no benefit in this birth, no benefit in next birth, and no benefit to get into the path of liberation. Okay, so we should immediately leave this false gods, false preceptor, and false religion. Now, characteristics of peripatetic devas and denial of their worship. So, Vyantar, Vyantar, Bhoot. Bhoot is one of the 10 states of Vyantar called peripatetic devas. Okay. And why we should not pray to them, and denial of their worship. This is the second topic. Okay. Subaji, you read. Many people adore false.
Jai Jinandraji.
Yeah.
Many people adore false deities, gods, and goddesses with different purposes of ending the misery and obtaining happiness, such as killing of foes, etc., eradicating diseases, etc., obtaining wealth and son, etc., related to this present life, paryaya only. They worship Hanuman, goddesses, Gangaur, Sanji, Chaut, Shitala, Dalari, etc., ghost, goblin, ancestors, peripatic celestial beings, etc., sun, moon, Saturn, etc., stellar gods, Pia, Mohammedan saint, Paigambara, prophet, etc., cow, horse, and other animals, fire, water, etc., and weapons, etc. What to describe more? They worship even the pieces of stones, etc., for fulfillment of the aforesaid purposes. So, this type of adoration of false deities, etc., is done only due to wrong belief, because firstly, many of those whose adoration is done are only imaginary gods, deities. How could therefore their adoration be purposeful? And many amongst them are the peripatetic gods, Vyantra Devas. They are not capable of doing good or bad to others. If they would be capable of doing good or bad, then they only would become the doers of good or bad. But
Nothing is seen
but
happening.
nothing is seen happening by their acts. They cannot give wealth, etc., by becoming cheerful, nor can they do harm to anyone by becoming envious. Here someone says, they are seen causing pain and misery, and if respected, they refrain from causing pain. When he, misbeliever, suffers from the rise of inauspicious karma, then they, the Vyantras too, are found having sportive mood of this type only, due to which they indulge in sportive actions, and because of their such acts, the person becomes miserable. And if out of fun they utter something, and this fellow, one minute, Ji.
Does
And this
not.
fellow does not accordingly, then they stop teasing him and feeding him, weak, continuing making fun. If he has a rise of punya or auspicious karma, then they cannot do anything. It is also
Stop,
seen
stop,
that
stop, stop. Now, many people believe in this kind of things, like you have problems from all angle at the same time. Then if you relate your situation to any of your friends or something, they will always recommend you. You go there, everything will be fine. You go there, you will have a solution to your problem, such and such. So because of our past impression, we have this tendency to indulge in false gods by hook or crook. Okay. So it's very difficult to take the right decision. Now, we were discussing this peripatetic devas, Vyantar Deva. Okay. So, very clearly mentioned in this paragraph, when he, the misbeliever, okay. First, the question was that this peripatetic devas are seen causing pain and misery, and if respected, they refrain from causing pain. Okay, so those who are low in confidence, they fall trap to this kind of false gods. The answer here given is, when he, the misbeliever, suffers from the rise of inauspicious karma. So very clear that when you have rise of inauspicious karma, then only you get indulge in uh, this kind of peripatetic dev. Okay, peripatetic god, the Vyantars. They too are found having sportive mood of this type only. Okay. Due to which they indulge in sportive actions, and because of their such acts, the person becomes miserable. Now, if you choose to become miserable, then others will try. But if you are strong enough and you don't believe in anybody's criticism or anybody thinking about your uh, about your downfall or something like that, how does it matter? Right? But there are 99% of people, they fall into this trap and they become fearful. And that's why they go on worshipping and adoring false gods, false preceptor, and false religion. Okay?
Ji, are they saying like this? Excuse me, Ji.
Uh,
Because of rise of inauspicious karma, we worship Vyantra Devas. They are saying it like
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
Because of worshipping Vyantra Devas, we will feel will get pop like that.
Yeah, definitely. When
Yeah.
you worship those false gods, then just now we read in the beginning itself, two losses are there. One is we
Yeah.
go far from Samyak Darshan, right belief. The
Yeah.
other is that we bind inauspicious karma.
Okay.
So it does not serve our purpose in any way. Okay. Only those people who have got a weak willpower, they falls into this kind of traps. But one who has believed that one substance cannot do anything for the other, why will he fall into this trap? He will never fall. Okay. Because he
Yeah.
knows that there is no such arrangement that somebody will do good for me if I pray him. Okay. So we also pray to our God, but we never pray to get anything in return. We pray
But why do we keep statues in our temples, Ji? We keep statues, no?
statues. Those statues are a replicate of true God. Okay,
Yeah.
and because of the mantra, vidhi and all, they are treated as God Himself. They are treated as real God, real Tirthankar. Okay, so mostly we have Bhagwan Mahavir's deity in all the Jain temples mostly. Then there are
Yeah.
other Parshvanath Bhagwan is also there. Then some other, but majority all the Jain mandirs that have been developed over the last 15, 20, 1520, 2000 years, all have mostly Bhagwan Mahavir because we are all under this, in this era, we are under the,
And in Tamil Nadu especially, Ji, most of the temples are built by kings, right? Pallava
right,
kings, Chola kings, like that.
right.
So what they would have is they will have Devis there, Padmavati Devi, Jwalamalini Devi,
So those are false gods. Those are false god, you know.
no.
And
So you're saying that we should not go worship them.
no, never.
Yeah.
Because they don't do any good for anybody, right?
But why do they place these gods in the Tirthankar is
Because they
there?
believe that these people, these gods will protect us, and that's why they are praying them also. They are keeping
Okay.
the deity of those Padmavati and Dhanendra, and
Yeah.
they also pray to them. In fact, their
Yeah.
prayer to them is more than the prayer to Bhagwan Mahavir.
Yeah, of course.
Because they believe that Bhagwan Mahavir is Vitrag, so he will not do any good for us. But these
Yeah.
people will do good for us. These people will save us when we are in trouble. These people will take away our all troubles. So all these kinds of belief they have, and that's why they are praying this Padmavati and Dhanendra. And there are many gods in that name,
Yeah.
Ganpati and Durga and Kali Mata and Shirdi Sai Baba, what not. There was a movie, Oh My God,
No, no, Ji. I don't know it.
a Hindi movie came few years ago. So
Okay.
I think Akshay Kumar was in that.
Yeah,
Paresh Rawal, yeah.
yeah,
So in that, all the false god, what they do, why they people worship them, all the logics were given, and ultimately it was proved that preaching, adoring them, and believing in them is a loss to all of us, right?
okay.
So there was a movie like that. And if out of fun they utter something and this fellow does not act accordingly, then they stop teasing him. Okay. So those who are weak minded, they only get influenced by these false gods. Okay. And if out of fun they utter something and this fellow does not act accordingly, does not follow his instruction, then they stop teasing him. Because they know that if we leave this fellow, we have others who will come under us, and the others will believe in us. So they stop teasing him. If you don't give any attention to them, they stop teasing him. And finding him weak, continue making fun. So if they find you weak, then they continue making fun. But if you don't uh, give attention to them, then they stop teasing you. If he has the rise of punya, auspicious karma, then they cannot do anything. So the final word is, if there is a rise of pap karma, even your own brother will not help you. And if there is a rise of punya karma, even your enemies will help you. So it all depends on our past karmas, okay, and not any external entity. Next paragraph. It is also seen that some persons, from here we have to start, okay, and there is a big list of this false god in page number 238. They worship Hanuman, okay. So in Jainism also Hanuman became god in that birth only, okay. But here they believe Hanuman to be a god of Shani or so. When Saturday comes, they go and pray to Hanuman just to keep, just to maintain their whatever sensual pleasures they are having, they want to maintain it. So they adore Hanuman and other goddesses. So Hanuman goddesses, Gangor is also a false god. Sanji is also a false god. Chauth, Shitla, you know, Dahari, these are different names. Then ghost, goblin, ancestors, peripatetic, celestial beings, etc. Only logic is that if we don't pray to them, they will harm us. And people are fearful. So when it's a question of getting harm, they all kneel down to the false gods. They don't want trouble to come to them, you know. And that's why they believe in true God also, and they also believe in false gods. It's very difficult to, you know, move out of the tradition that is going on in your family and adopt a new path, right? It's very difficult. So most of the people, they say that we don't indulge in understanding those things. Let it be whatever our forefathers were doing, we will be also doing it, and that is what will protect us from any kind of harm. So at the end, the belief is like that only, okay. So all these are, then people do worship sun, moon, Saturn, stellar gods, Peer, a Mohammedan saint, Paigambar, then Jesus Christ and whatnot, cow, horse and other animals. You must have seen that in many Hindus, they go to the, like nowadays what they do, near a Jain temple, they will bring 2 cows and tied it there. And along with that, they will bring grass and some laddu, okay, especially for those cows. And people buy from there, they come to temple, pray to God, and then they come out, then they give money to that fellow, and that fellow gives laddu and grass, and then they feed that cow with that, and then they touch the cow. So all these things are going on, and all this is just because they want to ensure that nothing bad happens to their life. Whatever sensual pleasures, money, family, whatever they have, they want that all that should be good, okay. And because of that, they all worship this kind of gods. In the last line, what to describe more, they worship even the pieces of stones. At one place, one will keep one stone and just put kanku and something on that. Then others will follow and come on adoring and worshipping that stone. So we are very weak-minded people by and large, we fall to this kind of traps. Every day in the newspaper, you must have read about this, that some Vyantar, some Tantric dude did this and that, and on the pretext of manifesting religion, they even indulge in sex with those ladies also, and people give in to those beliefs and they act whatever they say, and then they realize, but then it is very late. So recently, you must have the key, you must have read about the story of what Asharam Bapu. There were so many followers of Asharam Bapu and all prayed them like a god, and then suddenly all his sexual relations came out, and he was raped, he was accused for rape and all, and he spent a lot of time in jail, and recently he was given a bail, but around 7-8 years he was in jail. Similarly, there was another fellow by the name of Ram Rahim, and he also did wrongful acts, and he also got arrested, and I think he's still in jail. So people by and large are not very alert about all these matters, and then they fall prey to all these mischiefs. So when you have a wrong belief, you adore these false deities. And many of these gods are imaginary gods. They are not the actual God also. And if they are imaginary gods, how their adoration will be purposeful? Okay. So these are some of the questions that we should think about and then make a decision. One more line. And many amongst them are page number 238, fourth line from below. Many amongst them are the peripatetic gods, Vyantar Devs. They are not capable of doing good or bad to others. Okay. If they would be capable of doing good or bad, then they only would become the doers. Okay. Of good or bad. But nothing is seen happening by their acts. They cannot give wealth, etc. by becoming cheerful, nor can they do harm to anyone by becoming envious. So you see, nowadays many fall in the trap of Vastu Shastra. In the name of Vastu Shastra, they recommend many things to change this from there and then and there, and charges exorbitant fees, and people are willing to pay, because they don't want anything bad to happen to them. So that's why they pray this, and there are people who are ready to cheat weak-minded people. Okay. So this is complete now. We will read from here. It is also seen that some persons do not worship them. Okay. So from there, start reading. Aditi ji, you read. It is also seen.
It is also seen that some persons do not worship them and rather criticize them, or they, the Vyantars, also have aversion with him, but they, the Vyantars, cannot harm him. They are also found saying that the particular person does not pay regard to us. Still, we cannot do anything. Therefore, the peripatetic devas, etc., are not capable of doing anything. Therefore, the peripatetic devas, etc., are not capable of doing anything. Rather, the happiness and unhappiness is caused due to his own punya, pap, virtue, and vice, karmas only. On the contrary, by regarding and worshipping them, miseries are intensified, no purpose is accomplished. Further, it should be known that whatever glory and miracles are found associated with imaginary deities, these are all creations of peripatetic devs. Someone was his devotee in the previous birth. After death, he became a Vyantar. In that state, owing to some reason, such conjecture developed due to which he creates some miracle for inducing people to worship that dev or false deity. The worldly, ignorant people indulge in his worship by seeing some miracle, uncommon happening. As we listen and see the miracles associated with jinn pratimas, but
These are
but,
not the acts
but
of
these
jinn.
are not the acts of jinn. Rather, they are created by some Jain Vyantars. Similarly, whatever miracle is found associated with false deities is a creation of their devotee Vyantars.
So this Vyantar, you know, uh, their purpose is to just put you in confusion. Okay. And those weak-minded people, they fall prey to them. And those who don't believe them, they don't do anything. Okay. So people generally fall into the trap because they all appreciate glory and miracles, you know. So those who are able to create those kind of miracles, they have this kind of people who follow them, and they believe that whatever they say is all correct, and they are very faithful to his advice. Okay. But we have seen that nobody can harm anybody and nobody can benefit anybody. All whatever happens with us is because of our past auspicious and inauspicious karma, and nothing else matters to us. Okay. So the worldly ignorant people indulge in his worship by seeing some miracle, uncommon happening. As we listen and see the miracles associated with jinn pratimas, idols, but these are not the acts of jinn. Rather, these are created by some Jain Vyantar. So, so there are Jain Vyantars also. Okay. And those Jain Vyantars, you know, a few years, not few years, many years ago, there was this movement in whole of Mumbai and Maharashtra that there was milk coming out of Ganpati, you know, and there were so many people were influenced by that act. It was all an act of Vyantar. So Vyantar Dev has this capacity to create this kind of miracles. Okay. So as we listen and see the miracles of associated with jinn pratimas also, you know, कि यहाँ जाएंगे तो ये हो जाएगा, यहाँ जाएंगे. In Jainism also it is there. But though these are not the acts of jinn. Jinn means Jinendra Bhagwan. Rather, these are created by some Jaina Vyantaras. Okay. Similarly, whatever miracle is found associated with false deities is the creation of their devotees, Vyantars, etc. Okay. So these Vyantars are just like, you know, kids play prank with their parents, with their friends. Similarly, these Vyantars have this tendency to influence other people by putting them in, giving them wrong information, wrongly influencing them. Okay. So they have this trait in them, and because of that, they keep on trying, and those weak-minded people falls prey to them. Now, from there, further in other sect, who will read now? Priyanka.
Jai Jinendra, sir.
Chill. Further,
Further, in the other sects, it is stated that the god helped the devotees and gave darshan, sight, directly by appearing before them. But most of these statements are imaginary. Many such acts are performed by their devotee, Vyantra Devs, which are stated to have been performed by God. If those acts are done by God, then the God is omniscient, is capable in all respects. Why would Why would he allow the devotees to suffer from miseries? Even today, we see that the low caste people inflict affections to devotees, destroy religion, and break idols. If God is unaware of these acts, then he no longer remains as omniscient. Even after knowing, if he does not help the devotee, then the kindness towards devotees is lost, and he is proved powerless. And if he remains only a witness, then the earlier statement that he helped devotees in the past is false, because his tendency is equanimous. Further, if you will say, the devotion is not of high order, but in any case the devotee is better than the low caste persons, and after all his own idol, etc., was installed, at least he should have not allowed its destruction. And if the low caste wicked people become powerful, so is this an act of God or not? If it is an act of God, then what happened to his kind-heartedness towards devotees? Because he makes the calumniators happy and produces trouble creators for the devotees. And if it is not an act of God, then the God is proved to be powerless. Therefore, it is not the act of God. Some devotee Vyantara only shows the miracle. You should ascertain like this only.
Up to there only. So you see, by and large, people fall to this kind of traps, and they have this knack of influencing weak-minded people. Okay. So further in other sect, it is stated that God helped the devotee. But if God can help devotee and if God can give punishment, then he is the doer, right? But our gods are not doer. So they don't give anything this, that we don't even pray to God to get some benefit. Our only purpose of praying to God is that those who have shown us the path, that we are all pure soul, okay, we feel that we should bow to them, and that's why we go to pray them, okay. But we never pray for getting any worldly benefits. Our only purpose is to manifest passionlessness like them. Okay. And for that we are adoring them, worshipping them, just to get the attributes that they have manifested in their life. And we also want to manifest those attributes in ourselves, and that's why we pray to this true God. But most of these statements are imaginary. Okay. Many such acts are performed by their devotee Vyantar. So Vyantar creates this miracles and all, and people believe in miracles. So they start following. There is a church in Bandra, Father Agnal, I think something like that. Okay. And every Sunday, around 50,000 people go to pray that God, and out of that 50,000, many are Jains. Now, can you imagine why? Because by and large, people are ignorant and they believe in only in miracles, and so they easily get influenced by this kind of other uh, other gods, false gods. Okay. If these acts are done by God, then the God is omniscient, is capable in all respect. Why would he allow the devotees to suffer from miseries? Okay. So if the God is the doer, then why the devotees should suffer from miseries? He should have helped him, but no. It is our past karma that is coming into fruition, and the things are happening according to our past karmas. Okay. So there is no powerful God who can protect us, and there is no powerful God who can punish us. Whatever we get in our life is all because of our past deeds and karmas. Even today we see that the low caste people inflict applications to devotees, destroy religion and break idols. Okay. If God is unaware of these acts, then he no longer remains an omniscient. If God is unaware, okay. So omniscient God knows everything. If God is unaware of these acts, then he no longer remains an omniscient. Even after knowing it, he does not help the devotee, then the kindness towards devotee is lost and he is proved powerless. And if he remains only a witness, if he only remains, here it is written as witness, but it should be witness. Okay. And if he remains only a witness, then the earlier statement that he helped devotees in the past is false because his tendency is equanimous. Further, if you will say the devotion is not of high order, so sometimes people do give logics that even I prayed to God for so many years and see what happened to me. Then their false guru tells them that your devotion was good, but it was not of high order. Now next time you do it better. Okay. So they keep on misguiding people, because they want to run their own empire. And for that, they cheat these innocent people. And innocent people are not innocent because they don't have this decision-making power in them. And that's why they are being cheated by this false god. The devotion is not of high order, but in any case, the devotee is better than the low caste person. And after all his own idol, etc., was installed, at least, he should have not allowed its destruction. Okay. So many temples are destroyed. So when the gods, where are the gods then? Okay. So if gods are doer, then they would have stopped those violence and destructions. But it is not in their hand. One substance cannot do anything of the other. So they are not the god in the true sense. They are all false gods. And if the low caste wicked people become powerful, so this is an act of God or not? If it is an act of God, then what happened to his kind-heartedness towards devotees? Because he makes the calumniators happy and produces trouble creators for the devotees. Okay. Because he makes the calumniators happy. 1 minute. What is this calumniators? Let me check. The devotion is not of high order.
Rajeshji, I've managed to find it. If I can read it out, it might make sense.
Yeah.
It means that a calumniator is a person who slanders or spreads lies about someone to damage their reputation.
Right. So I'm looking at the Hindi word. Further, if it's the devotion is not of high order. the devotion is not of higher, but in any case, the devotee is better than the low caste person. Low caste person is Malech. Mm, okay. So, at least he should not have allowed its destruction. If the low caste wicked people become powerful, so is the act of God or not? If it is an act of God, then what happened to his kind-heartedness towards devotees? Because he makes the calumniators. And if the कोई अनुच्चर व्यंतर आदि की चमत्कार दिख रहा है, ऐसा ही निश्चय करना. Okay. So what you said, Darshit, he makes the calumniators happy. Okay. I think those who criticize are the calumniators, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So now in Hindi it is written, निंदकों को सुखी करता है. Okay. Those who criticize them, they make them happy. Okay. He makes the calumniators happy and produces trouble creators for the devotees. And if it is not an act of God, then the God is proved to be powerless. Therefore, it is not the act of God. Some devotee Vyantar only shows the miracle. You should ascertain like this. Okay. So it is only because of the peripatetic God, the Vyantars, that shows the miracle, and people believe in those miracles, and that's why he is being adored and worshipped. Okay. Now there is one more question coming up that we will take up on Wednesday. Tomorrow we are not having class. Tomorrow's class we have taken it today, and we keep it up to here only, and the next class we will take it forward from here only. Okay. So this whole chapter deals with the false gods, why we should not pray to false gods in any situation. Even something wrong is going in our life, we should not go and worship those. Okay. Because if we worship, then what will happen? We will have two losses. One is that we will get far away from right belief, and the other is we will bind inauspicious karma. So from none of the logic, we should pray to false gods. Okay, we should never adore these people. This is here that we end, and Wednesday we will continue from here. And there is one very good paragraph. I will keep ready. I will find it out and keep ready, that we'll discuss on Wednesday. Okay. So the question is that one substance cannot do anything for the other substance. Okay. So we should not be fearful of any false god, and at the same time we should not pray with the purpose of getting some benefit from any gods. Okay. So that is what we should conclude from all this discussion. Okay. We'll continue next class. Any questions on today's lesson?
No, Ji. But I have a general doubt. Why do we do abhishek of what everything for God? What's the reason for doing abhishek? Right?
So
We use
the purpose of doing abhishek is that if abhishek is done, the deity will remain clean. One purpose is that, okay? Otherwise,
Okay.
if we don't do anything, like even in our homes, if you don't what you call, if you don't clean up furnitures, they become so dirty, you know. So
Yeah.
one purpose is to make to keep it clean. The other purpose is that we are all seekers, and as a seeker, those who have done this job and got liberated, we always have adoration for those gods, you know. And that's why, because as a householder, it is mandatory for a householder to go to the temple and do this abhishek. It is
Okay.
called anointment ceremony. Okay. So it is compulsory for the householder to go. Why? Because throughout the day we indulge in so many other kinds of discussions and thoughts. Okay. So if first thing in the morning, if we go to the temple and pray to God, why we pray? We just pray to be like them only. Okay. There is no other purpose. We don't want any fame, name, power, money, nothing. Our only purpose of praying, adoring this, worshipping this true gods is that we also become God like Him. And that's why in our situation, we should always go to the temple. There we get the motivation that in spite of knowing the whole universe in his omniscient knowledge, still he is focusing in himself. He's not looking at the universe. And we should also focus on ourselves. This is the motivation that Jinendra Pratima gives to us. And that's why we go to the temple. So at least every day in the morning, you know what is your purpose in life. Your purpose in life is to become God. And those who have become God, we pray to them. Okay. That is
But
the
is it right? Is it right, Ji? Because our Jinendra Bhagwan is passion. He doesn't passionless. He doesn't accept anything. No.
yeah,
Is it
yeah.
right? Is it right if we do
So we are not doing for
Aradhana?
them. We are doing for ourselves. You know,
Okay.
we are not doing for them. We are doing for ourselves. So if we pray to the God, we will have a good feeling throughout the day. And praying to the God means following their advice, following their instruction. So because we want to be in their footsteps, we want to get liberated just as they got liberated. And that's why we always have this feeling of worshipping these gods. But there is no worldly purpose to pray them. Okay. It is just that we also want to manifest passionlessness just as they have manifested. That is the purpose.
Thank you, Ji.
Okay. Okay. So we'll close. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है. जय जिनेन्द्र. Chant Namokar mantra